Ever wondered why some men seem to always feel persecuted, especially by women? Well, it's a fascinating dive into the human psyche. Paranoia, particularly within narcissistic men, often manifests as a persecution complex, a mental framework where they perceive themselves constantly under attack. This mindset significantly influences their behavior and thought processes, twisting their perspective of reality. This paranoia often makes them perceive themselves as victims and women as the perpetrators. So why do these men feel targeted by women? An intriguing question, isn't it? To understand this, we need to delve into the victim narrative, a common tactic used by narcissistic men. This narrative is a self-created reality, a protective shield for their inflated egos. It's a story in which they paint themselves as the victims, the misunderstood heroes, while women are depicted as the villains, the oppressors. This narrative isn't just a tool for self-preservation. It's a deflection mechanism. It's a way for these men to shift the blame onto others, predominantly women, for their feelings of inadequacy or failure. This way, they can avoid introspection, evade accountability, and maintain their grandiose self-image. This victim narrative is a twisted interpretation of reality, but to the narcissistic men, it's as real as the air they breathe. It's a story they've convinced themselves of, in which they are the oppressed and women are the oppressors. How can you identify these signs of paranoia? Well, paranoia in narcissistic individuals often manifests as a heightened sense of suspicion or fear. They may perceive threats where none exist, leading to a constant state of anxiety and mistrust. This can reveal itself in controlling behavior as they attempt to manage these perceived threats. They may also exhibit an exaggerated sense of self-importance, believing that others are envious of them or plotting against them. This can lead to a profound lack of empathy, as they are so absorbed in their own world that they fail to recognize or understand the feelings of others. Another red flag to watch out for is their tendency to play the victim. They often create narratives where they are the target of unjust treatment, shifting blame onto others to avoid taking responsibility for their actions. Lastly, they may try to isolate you from friends and family, creating a world where they are your only source of information and support. Recognizing these signs is the first step towards dealing effectively with a narcissistic partner. So, how can women build resilience against such tactics? Let's start by acknowledging the importance of self-empowerment. It's crucial to understand that you have the right to feel respected, heard, and valued in your relationships. When dealing with narcissistic individuals, remember that their manipulation tactics are not a reflection of your worth, but rather their own insecurities and fears. Next, let's talk about awareness. Understanding the signs of narcissistic behavior can help you identify manipulation when it occurs. This knowledge can provide a sense of clarity, helping you to see the situation for what it truly is, not just how it's being portrayed. Setting boundaries is another pivotal step. Establishing and enforcing your limits is a powerful tool against manipulation. It's okay to say no, to demand respect, and to walk away if your boundaries are constantly being violated. Finally, remember the power of support. Reach out to trusted friends, family, or professionals who can provide perspective and validation. There are also numerous resources available online, including support groups, hotlines, and literature designed to help those dealing with narcissistic individuals. In conclusion, building resilience against manipulative tactics involves a combination of self-empowerment, awareness, setting boundaries, and seeking support. It's not an easy journey, but it's one that is absolutely possible and worthwhile. Remember, you are not alone. There are resources and people ready to help. To recap, we've explored the paranoid mindset of narcissistic men and how they often feel targeted by women. We delved into their self-created reality, a world teeming with perceived threats that fuel their delusions. We witnessed how the blame game plays out, with responsibility constantly shifted onto others, often women, in their relationships. The irrational fear of women, a manifestation of their paranoia, was unraveled, giving us a glimpse into their delusional world. We discussed the signs of paranoia, the red flags in their behavior, and the gaslighting tactics they employ to maintain their victim persona. We also shared real-life scenarios as examples of these men projecting a sense of persecution. But most importantly, we discussed strategies for breaking free from such relationships and empowering women to build awareness and resilience against these manipulative tactics. By understanding this behavior, we can create a safer, more respectful society for all. Knowledge is power, and together we can make a difference.